Hi, Laura J., founder of Peaceful Inner Warriors United here, wanting to share a little bit of my story and why I believe this initiative is absolutely worthy of your being part of it. Though I want to make the distinction between what it is and what it might be implied to be for others to use it to actually take members of it down. So, Peaceful Inner Warriors United is essentially an opportunity for us to journey inward in good company, pursuing passion, enthusiasm, authenticity, clarity, encouragement, finding your tribe, understanding what's yours compared to what might be projected onto you, loving what arises in the now moment that we only live in ever, except for in the mind, which takes us into the matter of space and time, and then letting go of our attachment to the not now that would take us into our heads and out of our heart. INNER is an acronym for individual needs necessitate emotional resilience, resonance, and respect, for that is key, and is part of why the podcast that will be kicking off in the new year, I tried this year and didn't have the support I needed to make it worth my investment of time, energy, effort, attention, and money to carry on with, given not many people were following along. And in trying to share all of what I am now in a course that is coming soon, that compiled what I filed into a report that exposes the ports of portholes that our portholes become, which are the energetic vortexes of our energy centers, and the energetic body that each of us have, which is known as the aura. I don't know enough about it, for I am not an expert. However, I do point out that there are levels of experts, and X-men or marksmen shoot where the X is marked, for that is said to be where the center point is. And so I share this because professionals were not that until they gained the accreditation or indoctrination to make themselves appear to be more, just as the emperor wore no clothes and pretended he did and masqueraded as if he did, with all of his henchmen who carried his fictitious canopy and all the rest of what the people could see was not actually there in the story of the emperor who wears no clothes. And yet they pretended too, because to not do so for an alleged emperor would then to create harm for themselves, because to contest a king is not what peasants can do. So why I started Peaceful Inner Warriors United, where essentially, as the creator of it, I have domain or dominion over the domain that I created, the name of which is the domain that I have used to then not confuse people, because there's a Facebook group and a Telegram group, the Telegram group of which I am more invested, which makes me then see Telegram and say there is more weight in that place at this point because I put more energy there, as do the souls who have joined me too. I'm making mushrooms at the moment, frying them, and you might say there won't be mushroom left in your head if you try to take all of this up there, when where it needs to go is the heart. For that is where you can start to discern truth from fiction and see that nonfiction is not the same as truth, though it will be implied to be within the legal fiction that requires us use the diction of legalese instead of what I propose we use instead, which I am calling laurelese. L apostrophe ora lease, for it is the language of empowerment the people can lease, in order to see the energetic nature of the reality that we are living in. We are alive within an energetic universe, of which we are the microcosmic expression of the macro, that will be used in order to give us back the aspects of us we trusted the wrong source to hold for us. I want Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly Group on Telegram to be a resource for you while you see the re-source that it is. So do not take any or all of what is shared at face value, for it requires the discernment of your heart to see what value can be derived from there. I want to also share that my journey specifically has been pretty crazy indeed, because I have somehow chose to be a warrior instead of a soldier. For a soldier is issued orders, which is no disrespect to those who have literally given their lives to act as such. Yet it is to say that they don't have much to come back to when they're through serving their military duties, because to become a pawn in another man's war is why arms are carried that occupy hands, while lands are occupied by the man that acts as the soldier, compared to the warrior that has no official title, outside of the archetype of one who knows what we will and will not fight for, and take a strong and firm stand to say, I will teach from the heart, even though I have not been paid for it. And fiat currencies that do not denote the value that has been said of the fiats that have given the currencies value. I want to also say that in my crazy journey here, which is the now moment I am in on December 17th, in the evening, at 5:55 in fact, of course it would be, for that is the master number or angel number that we can see a repeating pattern, of which we start to notice and then we just go deeper. In tarot, the 5 is generally about conflict, for you're halfway, and that halfway point is generally when we get really tired within the journey. But the journey starts and ends with the letters J-O-Y. And what is left is the urn of the ballot box, which is literally what a U-R-N-E is, if you look it up. Though generally we would just expect it to be the vessel that a cremated body would be put into upon the death of the one housed within it, because that's what we're more familiar with, and generally what we're familiar with is what we'll go with first, until we find a better option, and then we go through the cognitive dissonance, or the psychotic experience of having two competing realities simultaneously available to us, and we have to choose which one we will use by taking our hand in its, though there isn't a hand specifically to grab the man or woman that is going to choose the word of W-Y-R-D, which means fate or destiny. And that is why I created Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly Group on Telegram, where Misfits Fit, Peaceful Inner Warriors United on Facebook, and there's a meetup group called Peaceful Inner Warriors United too, where I share when and where live events or virtual ones will be happening. And there will be more in the new year, but I took a break from hosting events so that I could actually create something of substance to facilitate the experience of not only shifting in consciousness, but returning to being conscionable, able to house the conscience that our soul is meant to be the master of the house within, you see? There's a whole lot here that I would love for you to not fear. For while Wayne Dyer and the like have said fear to be an acronym for false emotion or false evidence appearing real, I shared mine by accident because I do believe that evidence is the emotion of energy and motion that needs to move. Or there won't be much room left in your inner kingdom, in your head, or in your heart. So, as my mushrooms come to completion, so does my message. And what I wish is for you to join any of the opportunities laid out for you here, and also share what this message means to and for you, and what you're going to do with it. So, I look forward to seeing you in one of those groups, and to know the main one I am active on, where conversation about creation takes place. Not the con video game or certificate of VEX, V-E-X, identity death, AI, which is why I do believe that since 2020 is the benefit of hindsight we gain after having lived through it, I say let's remain the main character in our story. First person pronoun, second only being you, who is second in my story, but I second in yours. So let us not confuse that to say either of us need to be the third parties in our own lives. When an affair is when a second party comes in to speak for us and reduce us and our capacity and abilities to then be ones to be spoken for like a minor or ward, which is very dangerous territory I experienced firsthand in 2019 when I experienced the modern day witch hunt legalized and normalized as the Mental Health Act that formed my substance for a while and took some time to defile the trauma and terror that I had witnessed firsthand there, experienced the energetic patterns of, and reclaimed aspects of myself from too. So I am grateful for it, for surrendering to a system I will never drop a knee to again. And any man or woman that tries to defend the corpse at my expense will pay personally, because I will get their name and I will go after them, not for fame, but to keep it real, the way I believe we must all do if we're to heal without kneeling to false gods or idols that would idle our eyes on something outside of us at the expense of what is true. I trust this is going to resonate for you on some level, somewhere. So do share. Peace out. Laura J. Namaste. Namago for today.